Wake up, camera. Good morning, everyone. Well, today we're back with 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. And we are on day 10. And I know I sound like I have a cold, but I think it's allergies. Yesterday we went to a graduation party. We were outside and it must have been more than what I could stand. I don't know. I know trees are, pollinating or whatever. So that must have been what got me. Okay, I am scrapbooking Skylar. I haven't scrapbooked her for a while. And we were at Wiggle Works. It's where you work your wiggles out. And she was on this great big gigantic blow up slide. And she was loving that. She would get part way up. She did take a while before I think she got all the way up. And then she was afraid to come back down, but eventually she did. It's just so cute. And I think she was too close to being 3. Oh, and did I say our sketch artist is Francis West. And it's a bunch of 2x2 inch squares from my guesstimate. I could not find the one where I actually measured out my sketch, so I was just winging it, but it looks like that to me. And so it's like she's just a little off the corner here and here. So that's how I started, and then I just worked from there, and I think it's going to be pretty easy. Now I was just, laying them out, and when you tape them, it's a whole nother story. But I think it'll be easy. Okay. So I'm going to start with this square here, if I can pick it up. And I'm using, I have it laying here. It's called Playtime by Mintay, and it's got just adorable little animals and like circus things and like carnival type things. And it kind of looked like a little carnival, like a giant carnival in there. And then they did have, right as you left, there was a place where you get little snacks and stuff. So that's kind of things that are in this, so it works perfectly. Okay, so I'm going to start, and probably, I got too much tape on it for the place where I have it, so maybe I will. Can I roll that off? I don't know how much. I think I might end up with only half of it that I need to be taped. Okay. Now I kind of hardly remember what I did to get to it. But I know I do not go all the way to the, maybe I do go to the corner. Yeah, I do. Okay. But not in the corner. So it's about like that. Okay, now I gotta make sure I'm not glued to the table, because that wouldn't do. That would not be to be glued to the table. Okay. For a minute I thought I was gonna go right into Dr. Seuss. Okay, and this is actually the same paper, just the other side. It was so funny because I cut out a bunch of them and then started laying them out. And then I got all done. It's like I ran out. And then I went and cut more. And then I had more than I imagined I could have. I don't even know if I'm using the right things. Huh. I don't think so, because I think I was supposed to have yellow here. Let's see here. I know I started there. I had yellow. Okay. Let me see if I can do that. Oh, maybe this was my one I started with. Oh yeah, I bet you that's it. Okay, I'm gonna just skip around. Okay. So this was supposed to be the one. Okay, and then a yellow. And so I'll just be building this, and I'm only showing you because it, you know, if you don't want to see it all, just kind of fast forward, because it does take some twists and turns. And so oh, that's not what I wanted to show you. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, you'll see like this goes through, and then there's more that go through here, but there are some blank spaces. So I'm doing that. And like some of these might be all the way covered up. But as long as you stay with the, you know, it looks like I'm going to be off, but it's like, oh well, if I am, I am. Oh, maybe I'll end up in the right spot. Now this does not look like the one I had here, so I don't know. Oh yes it is, because it's down here. Okay. This one I actually had turned this way. And let's see, I did do a little too much tape here, so I'm gonna push it up underneath there. Okay. And then there's one that will just be off the edge. And so I'm just going to have a little bit of that. And then I will, let's see, I'll put glue there. And then I'm going to cut the edges. Okay. And it all dries pretty fast, so I can cut these edges pretty quick. And then maybe I'll just give it a little start, and then I'll pause so you don't have to watch all the rest. Oh, actually I have a textured paper here. I had no idea. Oh, and here too. Okay. So I'm starting like that, and then I'll go into the next layer, which is, let's see, I think I'm going to start here because this is the one I know where it is. Okay, so this one goes here. So I just tried to fill it in just like what Francis did. And then I get to this piece, and that was not going to work there because it's a little too off center. Let me see. Actually, it could if I cut it down a little. Let's see, can I cut straight and do that? I'm going to give it a shot. Okay, that worked. So that's where that will go. Well, actually, it's not tall enough. Nope, still not gonna work. Okay, let me see. I'm just gonna switch it out for a different one. That's not gonna work. It will if I put it that way, but I don't like it that way because the cloud's wrong. Well, I guess that would be all right. Okay. So I'm gonna put that there, and I'm just gonna go ahead and tape in that area. I just, you know, tried to use the scraps that I could. So that's why I have pieces that have like little cuts in them. Okay. So this is an empty space if I remember right. What looks like an empty space, yeah. Okay, and then I skip this spot and I start again here. So, and I'm gonna start with this balloon here. Is that the one that goes there? No, it goes here. Okay. So I'm starting with that balloon that goes there. Nope, that is not right. I should probably just pause. You see it when I finish, because this is what goes there. It's another pink, because I didn't want the red right across from it, or the balloons right across from the other balloons, and the red right across from the red. But I tried to do like 5 of each design paper. Okay, and then I have that little stripe again, and so I can actually use this one because it's already cut off. So I will end up with an extra one of those. You know, it's kind of like building those papers out of like the branding strips. Okay, so this is already a good start. So I'm gonna pause and I'll be right back as soon as I got this glued down. Okay, so here's where it looked like plain spots. There might be like a darker, a solid here, because this looks like kind of a gray, this looks like a lighter gray, and this looks like a white. So there could be other colors there, but it looks like it's empty, so I'm just using it, leaving it like that. And so then I'm ready to put the pictures on here. And my pictures, hers look pretty big too. So I'm gonna put them like this, because she's facing in this way and she's still facing that way, but not quite as much she is this way. So I'm gonna put them on there like that. So I'm gonna start with this one pretty much in the middle. And you know, I'm covering up some of those squares, but this seemed like the best way to do it, and you know, keep everything lined up. Okay, I think about like that. It's good. Okay, and then my title is going to be Wiggle Works, because it's like, how could you pass up the opportunity to use a title like that? Okay, so I'm going to put this on here, and I think I'm going to go ahead and center it, because I'll still have, I think, plenty of room to put my embellishments there. And let me see where the center is. Okay, there's the center, and wiggle is a little bit longer, so I will have that here. So I'm going to put that on and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got Wiggleworks on there. And these are, they're called Happy and they're by Thickers. And I don't know if they have these in every color, but they have like the turquoise on the edge or underneath. And I just thought that looked like a fun thing because it looked kind of like the colors of Wiggleworks. Okay, so I'm going to use this little tent because they did have like little tent type things where you could go in and it would be full of balloons. It was just like funnest place. Kids just loved it. I remember it's in Washington, the state, and I don't remember if it's in Tacoma or in Seattle, but or it might have been one of those other towns that she lived in. But Aiden was in one of the tents where all the balloons was, and he's like making friends with this little girl, and she's just like, he's chatting away to her, and they're so little that you can hardly understand what they're saying, but it was just so cute. She's like looking at him like, is he talking to me? It's adorable. Okay, so I've got this little sun in a cloud, or maybe it's a moon, I'm not sure. And then maybe it's a moon because they got these little stars here too. So I've got a little star, and I better put a little more glue on it than that. And I'm just gonna stick this up in kind of in the empty space, but overlapping one of the colors. Okay, and then where's my little guy? Okay, and I've got this little elephant, and I'm gonna put him up on dimensionals. I just love all of Mintay's cute little characters that they have. It's adorable. And I think I need one smaller ones in the middle here. Okay, so I'm just going to have him overlapping like out in front of the big top here. And then there's this little ball that I thought was just cute, so I'm going to just kind of tuck that in behind him. Just a little more color. I'm just going to put that there. Okay, and then I have some other little embellishments and characters. And this one is like it's not a carousel, it's what are these? It's not a merry-go-round, it's a Ferris wheel. That's it. Had to go through all the things. It's not the scrambler. Oh, I'm going to cover up my little rainbow there. Oh well. Okay. And I've got another, this time a big star. And I'm going to put that kind of tilted over here on this balloon. And then I have another blue star. And they have little faces too, but they're a lot harder to see because they're tiny. And drawn on that blue, it's a little harder to see. And I'm going to put that right on the yellow. And then I have a little fox. And he is just as adorable as can be. when hubby had eye surgery, I took a bunch of stuff to cut in the office when I was waiting for him to get out. And I think this might be another little fox, but if it is, he doesn't have a big fluffy tail. But I'm gonna put this one up on dimensionals because I'm gonna let him overlap the other one. He still looks like the fox. I don't know if he is or not. Okay, so I'm just gonna overlap him, try not to poke him in the eye with his ear. And then since they do have the little place where you can get snacks and stuff right outside there, I'm gonna put these other little treats down by this one. And so I've got the big container of popcorn. Now the other day when I was looking for a little popcorn thing, it's like I didn't even think about there being one in one of the Mintay papers, one of the Mintay collections. But there it is. Okay. I'm gonna put that there, the little like jelly beans, a little jar of jelly beans. I love that. Okay. I don't love jelly beans, but it's really pretty. Okay, and I've got these Violet Studio gems, and there's purple in here, which I didn't really have any purple to mix in here, but I thought I'd pull in some of this purple just because it's in here. It's kind of nice to pull in a color that you don't have on the page, which is in your pictures. So I thought that would be fun to do. And so I'm using purple everywhere. Okay, I've got 3 in each spot. Do I want any more than that? Maybe I'll add a few more to bring in just a little bit more of that purple. There. Here. And I'm going to push them down because the other day I had some pop off. Okay, and I think I'm going to bring another one over here. Okay, let's see how many things we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to bring one more in. Maybe there. Okay. Again, I'm just going to push them all down. Okay. And I can do my journal, might do journaling here, or probably will do it here. She had hers down in this area too. So I'll probably end up putting it there because it's kind of looks like the obvious place to me. All right, so thank you for joining me. Tomorrow we'll be back with another day of 30-day sketches. And remember that down below will be a link to just the still shots, another link that takes you over to all the YouTubes that are being made by people. And I will have close-ups at the end, and have a wonderful and blessed day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.